18-year-old is still working like he's got something to prove. The Newmarket, Ontario native was at a training event with BioSteel Supplements in Toronto. Had a chance to sit down with him after he got off the ice. Well, Connor, thanks very much. I know you've already had a busy day, so thanks very much for your time.
Oh, thank you.
You were out there training with some of the pros' best trainers. What's that like for you?
Yeah, it's obviously a huge advantage anytime you get to train with some of the best trainers there are. Obviously, Matty Nichols a pretty good guy to have training you, and as well as Gary Roberts, who I train with most of the time. So it's good.
Edmonton's pretty excited for obvious reasons. You were able to do an orientation camp, and thousands came out. Did that give you a sense of just how excited Edmonton is?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to be excited about in Edmonton. I mean, they've made some good changes. They've signed some very good players. So there's a lot of reasons to be excited for if you're an Edmonton fan. So it was good to see the support at orientation camp, but at the same time, I think just the whole city's excited for the new faces that are there.
So obviously, there's a number of teams that you would have been happy to have been playing on, but it's Edmonton. It's kind of nice that it's in Canada for your first season.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm a Canadian boy and born and raised in Canada, and we're very excited that it's in Canada and I get to start my career there. I mean, it's a little bit further than my hometown where I grew up, and it's going to be tough for my parents to get out there and see them, but that's something that I'll deal with after.
And it's not as though you don't know about snow and cold.
That's for sure. Yeah, growing up in Toronto, obviously the winters aren't great either, so that's nothing new.
I mean, you've had a number of events that you've been able to do, and there's so many kids you were able to work with. How does that feel to be a role model to so many up-and-coming kids, so many of whom want to play hockey?
Yeah, I mean, I was once that kid too, looking up to someone. So if they look up to me, that's a true honor, and it's not my responsibility to make sure that I'm doing all the right things and I'm leading by example.
How do you deal with the circus aspect of it? It's so great that people are so excited, obviously, for you, but how do you keep your head low and make sure that you get the job done?
Yeah, I think it's just in my personality. I mean, it's one thing to make sure that you're doing all that and dealing with the media, with the fans and all that, but at the same time, my job is to play hockey and that's it. So if you're not doing your job, then that stuff's going to go away really fast. So obviously I stay focused, very focused on what I need to do.
We got a chance to speak with your mom and dad a couple of months ago, just before the draft, and I was saying off the ice. I said, so who's Connor off the ice? What was he like with his brother growing up? Mm-hmm. And they were kind of fun, and they said, well, Cameron kind of thought, your mom said, I think Cameron thought he was kind of weird. Yeah. You had a good relationship though, huh?
Yeah, we had a good relationship. We still have a great relationship, and I guess I was weird in the sense that I would play hockey all the time, and that's all I wanted to do. I guess I was a little bit abnormal from what he wanted to do, but that's just how it goes, I guess. But he's my great friend now, and he was back then, so I'm very lucky to have him.
How important is having that family support with you and being as close as you are when you've got so many things going on? Yeah,
it's so important. I mean, you wouldn't really be here without them and the support and the love that they give you, so I'm very lucky to have all my family.
What about some of the other players on the team? I mean, Taylor Hall was here.
Yeah.
What about getting to know them?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, I work out with Teddy Purcell, so I've gotten to know him better, and obviously Taylor, I've gotten to know him a little bit better just as we go here. So I'm very happy that he's here this week, and get to be around him a little bit more, and hopefully get to know him a little bit better.
We ran a photograph of you with Andrew Wiggins. You got to meet him a little while ago. What was that like? Because you're a basketball fan.
Yeah, of course. I'm just a sports fan and a Canadian fan, and obviously he fits into both those categories. So I'm a big fan of his and everything that he does, and it was very cool to meet him and I get a sense for what he's like. So
I guess time is kind of ticking down for training camp. Is there anything on your bucket list that you want to do this summer that you haven't had a chance to do before the big season begins?
Not really, no. I think my summers are more about hanging out and relaxing and making sure that you're getting your time off and as well as getting bigger and stronger and improving as well. So I've had a good summer, but it's over, and I'm really looking forward to getting started.
Exciting year ahead, exciting season ahead.
Yeah.
Connor, thanks so much.
I ask you?
Now creating computer whiz kids.
The pint-sized pupil